We have the banner 5.1 confirmed in this live stream that there have been surprises. Xilonen. Everyone is waiting for the Geo and Nahida cat, the wild lettuce, a must-pull and one of the best characters of the... Today, in this video, we will see if it is worth not only Xilonen, Nahida, and if Kiori and Hutao, but also worth waiting for all the characters that are yet to come and that surely revolutionize Genshin. Impact at NATLAN's level, as let's remember that the little that has come from NATLAN has been 2 carries with the potential spectacular to be one of the best of the game, even with improvements with future characters and future teams. Xilonen isn't just must-pull anymore, but game blackmailer, that is. He's literally coming to wreck the game, and it's the new Archonte. Geo, even though it's not her title in the game, and Mavuika is an Archon with which we expect nothing bad about her. So much care and keep protogamas because yes, the 5.1 is hard for free-to-play. There's going to be a deficit of protogamas, there's going to be tough decisions, but be careful, because what's to come is a lot better. So leave a good like, a good Bennett ulti, subscribe, leave a good comment, and also buy algorithm. Thanks for enjoying and watching the video and the channel. It doesn't cost you anything, it's free, it helps a lot to be recommended. I'm watching you right now, and subscribe to Bell. Thank you very much. And you know guests and welcome to the directs, link below in the description that we are extensible. And well, better come and see what happens and see it with you and we go with. It's worth it or what to throw away the banners of the bee. 5.1 get. Well, at first I'm going to tell you a little summary because we already know the Xilonen kit and I've uploaded it in an earlier video that will be over here on screen. Everyone is already talking about Xilonen even though it hasn't come out officially because it's so hot, and hopefully they won't do the faith before they go out in a part. We all know what they're doing on tour because then the rest of the characters are reruns. So we know that the most, let's say, harder of this banner, so hard in the meaning that it is very strong and hard as in the meaning of it's going to cost much to save protogamers is Xilonen and Nahida, but I want to remember at the beginning of the video that is still about to reunite Xilonen, is about to reunite Alakino, will be reuniting Furina, that Kazuha has also reunited also very soon, with which also Neuvillette is about to gather and save you protogamers because apart from Mavuika, new NATLAN characters will come in The next 5.2 will surely at least come Chaska, and already is commenting out there Sitlali who capable comes together. Chaska on 5.2 or next to Mavuika on 5.3, so for God's sake keep this information in mind, and it's pretty safe that these characters come soon apart from that they begin to announce Auroran and Captain or some Fachuian things for. People are already totally out of their minds because NATLAN seems to follow the strategy of me going to Missile Dite. Well, 5.1 Xilonen. Xilonen for me is not must-pull as game blackmailer if in many cases I tell you that there are must-pull, that are the characters that should... I usually make a little list of Kazuha, Nahida, Furina, and Neuvillette as carry, and then in second category, and this is something that I already repeated in other videos, would put Yellen, Emily, Xianyan. As a small list of the best characters in the whole game and the best 5 stars, I think Xilonen is going to pass. I don't know if I'd put it top 1, I'd make a series of videos when.
Stop being horny and give me your mora.
Come out and I can really test it, not just a video watching the new character, but as if it were literally an Archonte. Teams that improve can be the best character in the game, and the long list of things that haunt my head and seem to me. I think it's too powerful. I'd say it's the character no longer must pull as I say, but game blackmailer. If yes, if in any account literally that there will be people who say no. Like such the game, I don't know that Xilonen is the character that you will most regret in your life and in your experience. In Genshin Impact of never having ever released now Xilonen, that does summarily though already, and the kit with the elemental. Low resistances to 2 elements without having to do anything special, apart from getting to the point to fill maximum points. In Octambulism idea, it's like a green shadow, its elemental ability. It's set buffer 40%, the elemental bonus to the elemental bonus. You do a reaction with which a little bit of care with this, because capable you need to do a reaction to the carry. Main or some kind of mechanics to leave sources of an element out of the field, before entering with Xilonen in order to apply this bufo to some characters. But well, it's going to be simple with Mualani teams. For example, you just leave a basic with Mualani that is applied to Hydro, and there you already do the reaction, nothing happens, no need to bookate the other element, for example, and so it will happen with many teams. But the thing is that the set bufo at 40% elemental damage 40 seconds, i.e. what Kazuha does is healer of the team as long as you have two elements other than Geo, i.e. for the Navia. Xilonen Furina, Bennett perfect. But for the Ito triple Geo, not because there will not be two elements other than Geo to activate these discs, so to say, and activate healing and low resistances, and already does all this, which is equal to or better than Kazuha. Because it's the same buffs and low resistances but more seconds, and it doesn't add up that this is the difference, but it will be slightly. And this is amazing. And the C2 is a spectacular bufo to the elements that you activate the low resistance to the Pyros. 45% attack on Hydros, 45% life is going to enable the most powerful Raiden hypercarry in the game because it will reduce cooldowns and power Raiden and Sarah to be a hypercarry no longer only with more damage but with 15 seconds of rotation. A crazy, basically so Xilonen mandatory is a video Xilonen. No, so I already call Kiori basically is a sub DPS that Shiro I consider worse than Albedo because it does a little more damage but the ticks is not full uptime. That this means that his puppets are not continuously in the field like Albedo's, that you can put the flower and stay. 30 seconds in the field you have to relocate. It does not generate as much energy as Albedo generates, less than 50% of the energy it generates. Albedo with which Kiori Zero is worse than Albedo. Kiori con more weapon because it is better than Albedo because it gives you much more damage, like sub DPS, and that compensates for the energy that Albedo doesn't give you. But to me Kiori is one of the baddest characters in the game. Sincerely, not only is it the most discardable thing today, but at the time being a small power creep of Albedo. Could become the best in slot to cone and weapon with Navia. And today, the departure of Xilonen, the best in slot of Navia goes to Xilonen, with which Kiori, to me in my opinion, is in the category of Dihaya of You Are Wine, and of these characters that today, no longer serve at all. I prefer to recommend Albedo to Chero, then Nahida and Hutao. You are a hater of Kiori because it is not the reality. In the end, it is an Albedo that does a little more damage with cone and gun. But at Chero, it generates less energy and is worse support with it, which at Chero is better Albedo, and to be best in slot of Navia is better Xilonen, so poor Kiori has no place every day. Now Nahida and Hutao, let's start talking about Hutao, and Hutao, know that there are two big facts about her, and no, it's not that it's flat, as Ran Kaizen basically said. Hutao has these two facts that are: number one, has one of the fandoms bigger than the whole Genshin Impact community. I imagine that by design, not at the end, it is very characteristic, is very worked out. The artistic design of Hu Tao, with the pupils that are flowers, with the design of the costume, the dress, with the fantasy that you throw with the ulti, with the theme that she is an undertaker, and her lore with her loaded gameplay, or the gameplay so frantic, and fun with his current best in slot of Furina Yelanshian, and a dragon hunter, you make two normal charged high down, which is a gameplay of the craziest and frenzied of the whole game, and certainly hilarious. And the other factor that Hu Dao has is that to this day is carry Pyro, which is one of the most literally repeated things in Genshin Impact. I don't know why I'm really not going to get people into that issue because it's already video aside, but the other factor about Hu Tao is that, as we said at the time, despite the fact that it generated a lot of hate reviews, and because the normal social networks do not happen, nothing because it has been overtaken by a 4 stars that is gaming, and let's say that it has been even believed by another power. Carry Pyro launch, that is Arlecchino, then at level of incredible tastes, at level of incredible teams, at level of performance. Individual, let's say, is the 3rd best carry Pyro of the game, after 4 stars gaming and Arlecchino. Then at Chero it exceeds Cone, that is to say, Arlecchino Chero exceeds Hu Tao Cone. Then it is hard the thing, and here it is already to value what Hu Dao today. For new players, let's say it's not as important as gaming or Arlecchino, who do the same function and occupy the same characters as the best team in Hu Tao is Hu Tao Furina, Yelan Xianyon, and the best team in gaming is Gaming Furina Xianyon, which is the same thing, and then Bennett instead of Yelan. Although gaming could also be played on the same team making downs. And Arlecchino more of the same. The best Arlecchino team is Arlecchino Fiorina Kazuha Bennett, who here varies Kazuha but good. There's not much more that varies a character on each team, and basically this makes it the time of choice who actually chooses. Hu Tao does it because the more part predominates, as I say. Threshing or goal of forgiveness predominates the part of tastes and more of sights. I love the character can do all the challenges with this character. I don't care that I have characters that do what. Same and better. And that's the real choice of Hu Tao. And finally, Nahida, the lettuce before, was super exclusive and was the best character. Within the game, now I have to explain a very important thing, although not everyone can have this alternative. Equipped, and now you repent, many of you, and it will take long to gather because it came in the 4.8, that is to say less than 1. Version, that is Emily, then Nahida is the best character within the whole game, is worth, of course, ranking. Of these banners, Xilonen, Nahida, and then either Hu Tao case and super disposable in a category beyond Kiori. Does not serve. Much Kiori as I explained before, and why not then Nahida would recommend going if you don't have a Nahida Chero in. Your account's the only thing that does have that podium better inside will keep it incredibly powerful is. Best in slot for all inside teams in general and is very good sub DPS for both Mualani and Quinish if you want it. Play not so much in Burn anymore because Emily has already surpassed Nahida, but specifically with Quinish for the Quinish teams. There are problems and conventional teams that equal is a very good performance, that is to say doing the one of the guys in Tignari so that you understand, and it happens that NATLAN, the Pyro element, the Pyro Nation, and are greatly rewarding the Burn reaction or which is all the core of equipment based on Burn, because nothing clear is used. Quinish is played to burn or burn. More repeat, with which Emily is better than Nahida for Quinish, then Mualani is currently played in vaporized over burn. Which can be Nahida and can be Emily. Nahida slightly superior to Emily, specifically with Mualani by the Masters before. Mualani to do more bite damage, but Emily doesn't fall behind and looks like, as I already explained in videos. And let's say this conversation we've had a lot of is also going to bring NATLAN, the one with normal retries and the one with burns on burn. And all this goes very hand in hand with Emily, who gains a lot of importance, and is a very strong, important character, and is a second. In fact, it is the second best within the game, because I tell all this because Nahida is practically more polished and I would put above Emily still, as I put two categories of more polished that are Kazuha, Fiorina, Nahida, and Xilonen. And in a second category, I would put Xiang Yong and Lan Lan, and here we would put Emily. You have to consider the position of Nahida and how powerful it is, but you also have to keep in mind that now exists, let's say, this little competition of Nahida, that before then did not have Nahida spectacularly important, and like Alani with equipment surely of burn, and melts, vaporized or crackling in NATLAN, but also the usual equipment of both Bloom and Hyper Bloom, as well as Seize. Aggravated or Sprit Nahida is still the best in the game, and it does deserve the so little more. This is the analysis of the analysis. 5.1 banners. Top shill number 1. Nahida number 2. Hu Tao, disposable for the reasons I have told you, and depends more of the tastes that of really the efficiency of the character. If you are new, you are old. And finally for me, if I prayed total lie, a discard, and you would tell me fill Constellation, because to see the C2 of Shilni is very rosy, the C2 of Nahida is very strong also. For all equipment where there is an electro, i.e. the Nahida C2 for Quinish crackling or Quinish burning equipment, it literally serves as nothing because that's what he's literally for, which is why he has a lot more roof and potential in NATLAN. Then don't worry so much about Constellations, even though many have more purchasing power, because maybe that deserves. But the advice on my part that you laugh because I already say Raran of Arlecchino, Raran of Xianyan, Raran of Ryodsley of Shinhi. That not yet come Mawika Chaska Sitlali Ororon will be confirmed some Fatui. Surely will come surprises of new characters. New billet that neither Katsuha came before new billet and themselves came in Fontaine on 4.5 if I don't remember. I mean, new billet might be falling too, and at some point you'd say, well, I wish someone had told me to say, instead of getting warmed up by the Constellations, because Here I tell you I save a little bit more, leaving it good like a good ultimacy. From there, subscribe, leave a good comment for the algorithm. Thank you for enjoying watching video channel. Thank you very much for all the love and support. Remember, is free. It costs us nothing, help a lot. Let's make this video come to the deal. 3,000 likes and it is already very careful to have very good day thanks to the channel team that I forget some videos I do not know.